to pause.
I welcome your company.
Are we in trouble yet? You've crossed the wrong mongrel!
I'll be swayed from my path.
I'm always open to ideas. You're irrelevant. Nice try. Didn't work.
Let's have some fun.
What are you made of? Yeah, man, what is this? Profane him. Huge Baylor.
Done with you.
Why do you refuse to die? What is this? What's your HP? Oh. There you go. How much? 20,000 XP. Keeping this pace, I'll level up soon. A long sword only. I need to hurry up. Storyteller was.
Missed me already. Smile. The world's not ending just yet.
No one.
Move out!
There's no one. There's no one. Yo, goddamn Dresden. Storyteller. Long months have passed, Commander, but even while you were away on the other plane, I could hear your brave heart beating. That sound never stopped for a second. Irabeth looks at you as if unable to believe what has happened. For a while she stands speechless. You're a lively one, Grandpa Elf, always finding yourself in the most dangerous spots. I'm still glad to see you, although you'd be safer tucked up by a fire somewhere. So how have things been in the last 6 months? Spend the time serving the Queen to the best of our ability. But a week ago, after she announced her decision to proceed with a crusade, many of us came to the conclusion that we could not go with her. Because we did not believe that you were truly dead, we humbly declined the honors offered to us and remained here to await your return. It was an easier decision for me than for others. I had encountered you in the abyss, and I knew you were alive. Not everyone believed me. And then yesterday I had a vision. I was leafing through the pages that you collected for me. And suddenly I saw the future. Not a future clamoring to be told by the page in my hand, but your future. The future of a person who first brought that page to me. In my vision you returned from the abyss marked by new powers that wound around you like snakes. Your voice made the earth tremble, people and demons dropped to their knees, and Yomadea herself extended you a helping hand. But the only thing you were concerned with was the whereabouts of the banner that Queen Galfrey had taken with her. I know what I saw is difficult to believe, but I'm in the habit of trusting my visions. So I hurried to the citadel to lay my hands on some of the Queen Galfrey's possessions and try to discern where she went and where your banner is now. My story is simpler. Anivia and I both agreed that we should stay here to wait for you. We're supposed to serve the Queen, but our hearts are here. Besides, you're still the commander of the Crusade, and I have no right to abandon you, even if there's almost no hope left. Although I must admit that the storyteller's tale about his vision of your imminent return seemed quite vague. I follow him here to make sure he didn't accidentally hurt himself. I'm glad that he proved to be the right and you really returned. Do you know where to the Queen? It wasn't easy. I see the Queen's future and her past as if looking through shattered glass. Multiple visions come one after another, distorting the picture. The Queen is in mortal danger, at the crossroads of her fate, and her every step may prove fatal. But I did not give up, and fortune smiled upon me. I touched her goblet and learned where she was leading her army. Her Majesty decided to march for ease, a bold move, one worthy of a queen who is not accustomed to hiding. That was indeed a bold move for my dear cousin, no doubt about it. As bold as stepping into a volcano. This is an utterly anti-scientific method of acquiring information. That's what it makes it so interesting. I'll have to conduct a series of experiments involving you. To establish how you react to various subjects, to identify patterns in the amount of information that you receive from them. You already said that in exactly those words. You even conducted your experiments. You handed me some shards to hold. Once you brought a huge club, and another time you gave me a live hedgehog. And then you said that the experiment was a failure, and immediately forgot all about it. Really, well, I decided to forget all about it. That must mean I didn't learn anything of interest. I won't remember this time either. So, what were we talking about? We must hurry and help the Queen. Let's take Dresden back, Commander, and then we march onward. Remind me of Ys. Ys, the city that hangs over the abyss. It once was the citadel of legendary rulers, the capital of Sarkores. But now demons are tearing it apart, making a mockery of its former glory. 2/3 of its magnificent streets and proud towers have collapsed into the world wound, but the city still holds on. Just as Sarkores holds on, defeated but refusing to die. The Queen did the right thing. We mustered enough strength to try and go on the offensive for the first time since the First Crusade. If we don't recapture Ys now, who knows how many years we'll have to wait for another opportunity to approach it. We must leave this place. It's time for the final battle for Dresden. Your arrival changed everything. After we lost Dresden again, it felt as if the light of hope had left us forever. You're like the sword of valor. You're the banner of our victory. I was afraid we would not be able to succeed without the banner. We might not have the banner, but we're still here. We'll live to see you return. You truly are our banner, Commander, to arms. One more thing. In the shattered fragments that form her fate, I can sense your presence, and I'm convinced that the Queen would sense it too. No one can say what your next encounter will lead to. But there is one thing I know for certain. Queen Galfrey's fate and yours are tightly intertwined. Perhaps that is what made the Queen write this letter to you. After I touched her goblet, I saw her hiding it in a secret compartment in a wall, and I managed to find it. I don't know what it says, but I can sense the emotions that were tearing the Queen apart while she wrote it. I think I'll be able to help you about the feelings she was experiencing in the moment. If you wish, you can come to me later, when everything has settled down, and bring this letter with you. We will look into the past of this item together. Now fucking what? Orengopta, a huge oily Nalpeshni is waiting for you with his arms folded. Here comes the Commander, kids. So, Commander, do you like what you see? You arrived just in time to hear your friends screaming for help. They trusted you, and look what happened to them. Do you actually think you can rescue them? Who do you think you are? Who sent this army here, you beast? We all serve our master Baphomet, Lord of the Labyrinth. He promised us Dresden and your skin as a doormat. I'll rescue my friends. I'll rescue my friends. How exactly will you do that, you pathetic Golarian maggot? What can you do on your own without your army? Yell inspirational speeches. And then all pathetic defenders of Dresden will be inspired and turned into an invisible force. That's usually how it goes in fairy tales. Do you know what happens next in real life? We'll wipe your army out, and you along with it. But I will kill everyone, I'll lock you in a cage, then start torturing your friends. Once I'm done with them, they will come and spit in your face. They'll tell you themselves what torment you doomed them to. You're just a jumped up mortal insect. You're nobody. It requires legend, mythic path. Yes, I'm mortal. I'm the commander of the 5th Crusade. This is my city, my people, and my destiny. Angel, mythic path. Let the darkness perish, be gone from my world, demons. Dragon, mythic path. I'm a gold dragon. My heart is full of compassion, but my spirit is relentless. I will allow those who want to live to go in peace, but those who stay I will have to destroy. How the fuck can I tell now what to do? Stick with Angel. Go Legend. Or go Dragon. Go Legend. I am immortal, I'm the commander of the 5th Crusade. This is my city, my people, and my destiny. I picked Legend. Achievement unlock, demonic and divine. Medea. An incredible silence suddenly descends over the city. It is broken by the solemn sound of fanfares that seems to come from far away, everywhere, and nowhere all at once. All eyes are turned to the huge stained glass window of the city's main cathedral. It begins to glow with a soft light, and in the next breath a lone figure steps out of the glass onto the cobblestones of Dresden.
Knight Commander, at last we meet.
There is no mistaking her. Medea, the goddess who has deigned to descend to the world of mortals. Your companions shield their faces, unable to withstand her radiance. The surviving demons quiver, the townsfolk fall to their knees, but the deity eyes are on you and you alone. Oh wow, look everyone, it's a goddess! Laugh will bend the knee. Make an obscene gesture. Die! Yeah, this last option with die is like, holy shit. They've been speaking about Medea for like 300 hours in a row, man, and then you have an option to you die. God damn it. I don't even try to narrate, to be honest. I'm just tired of reading. Gods don't often descend to our world.
They rarely have good reason to. I suppose you're asking yourself why I am here. Gods must not interfere directly in the affairs of mortals. But what is happening here, in the World Wound, is no longer the concern of mortals alone. I know how much light and hope you have brought to the Crusaders. Your achievements are indisputable. But during all that time, your followers believed that their leader was Heaven's chosen. This is a bitter lie, and goodness and justice cannot be based on lies.
So what the fuck you want?
I have seen what happened here in Dresden. Despite everything that you have endured, despite the changes you underwent in the Abyss, you relied on your humanity, and you won without losing it. I salute you. I wish to stop the forces of evil and defend Golarion, both from Daskari's violent rage and from Nocticula's insidiousness. But that is not my only goal. I have come here to restore justice, for justice is the birthright of all. That's why I hail you as a hero who has triumphed over the demons many times. At the same time, I grieve for you, as for a soul that is caught in a web of demonic deceit and villainy.
Mitrals, thanks for the raid. People, hello. Such a heartwarming concern for me. Now let's be honest, what is your real reason for coming here?
My reasons are as I have told you. I am no demon. I do not lie and cheat. Of that sin I am most certainly innocent. In that moment, when my poor Herald was being torn apart by monsters, he found the strength to send me a message about what he had learned in the Abyss. You were in Elutionera, where you spoke with the Lady in Shadow and the Architect of the World Wound. They confessed what they had done to you, but they did not reveal the whole truth. Both you and this unfortunate world will have to pay dearly for the power that they so generously bestowed upon you. But all is not yet lost. That is why I have come.
Is that Nocticula? The walls of Dresden shake again, and with a ringing laugh, a black shadow appears before the shining goddess Nocticula in the flesh. Standing beside her is a real Warlash, who stares at the goddess white with ice-cold rage in her eyes.
Who here has been taking my name in vain? Ah, it's you, the Inheritor. What's this? Our worst fears have come to pass. The gods are flocking to Golarion. This merry little tinderbox could ignite at any moment, reducing the material plane to dust.
An inner sphere in reality in which the planet of Golarion finds itself along with its sun and its 10 sister planets. Unending void, occasionally harboring life of terrestrial planets or other less stable celestial bodies.
I did not come here to fight.
You bitch.
Oh, really? I didn't realize you were good for anything else. Forgive me, that was unfair of me. Judging by your successes over the last 100 years, fighting is not your forte. After all, the wound is still there, as far as I know. So why are you here? If you have come to meddle in my affairs, don't expect me simply to stand aside.
Goddess, can you banish the spawn of the abyss or destroy them entirely? This party really getting started now. Who'll be next to arrive? Caden, Salion, perhaps? I don't want to listen to you, Omede. I'll leave now. Nothing to discuss with either of you. I'm ready to hear what you want to tell me. I got nothing to discuss with either of you.
You are wrong. I came to tell you something no one else would. If the Queen of the Succubi wishes to be present for this conversation, so much the better. Do you hear me, Nocticula? You and your servant are under no obligation to leave. I have come here to shed the light of truth. Let us see if you both can withstand its merciless radiance. I cannot change the flow of mortal history by force. After all, the world wound is their doing, although committed at the behest of the Abyss. But sometimes force is unnecessary, and truthful words are all it takes.
The goddess who was mortal not so long ago is eager to judge us for our sins now. My sin, to be precise. What lies behind your eagerness, proud Iomade? Righteous wrath? Or perhaps fear? Watch out. A simple mortal woman has learned how to grant powers to others. Powers which are beyond the wildest dreams of many Imperial lords. This must be stopped, forbidden, taken away immediately. After all, what need will we have for all these arrogant gods once we become their equals?
Silence. It's impolite to interrupt your elders. But you know, Inheritor, she does have a point. What are you going to do now? Break my weapon? Which has made so many victories possible, and only because he received that weapon from my profane hands, and the entire affair must therefore be profane also? What real reasons do you have? Save those born of your envy, your capriciousness, and your suspicions?
My reasons are quite real, as you well know. That is why you appeared here in such haste, is it not? You have woven a delicate lace of half-truths, Nocticula. From you and your servant, the Knight Commander has learned that he is bound to the world wound, that he is slowly dying because of its influence, and that he is yet capable of closing it. But you withheld a crucial piece of information. You never told him that closing the wound won't save him from death. For this lock will destroy the key to which it is bound. The one who closes the world wound will die along with it.
That is true. I tried to tell you back in Illusionera, but I was not allowed to. It is an unavoidable consequence of this process. To stitch two planes together as I have stitched Galarian and the Abyss, the soul of a mortal must be woven with the essence of the Abyss. To undo this seam, the original soul, the key, must be ripped apart. No one could survive such a process.
In other words, I'll die if I don't close the wound, and I'll die if I do close it. What if I'm willing to sacrifice my life if it means closing the world wound? Goddess, can you help me cleanse my soul of the influence of the Abyss? In other words, I'll die if I don't close the wound, and I'll die if I do close it.
It is true. Now do you see the perils of accepting a demonic gift? No matter how much power the Abyss gives you, that power will always be tainted by lies and misfortune. This is the justice I promised you. The right to know the whole truth, and not to be a plaything in the hands of abyssal spawn.
Nocticula, were you trying to hide this from me?
Trying, you say? I successfully hid the truth from you for as long as I deemed necessary. Are you expecting me to explain myself? My goal is to close the world wound, not to grant you a happily ever after.
What if I reject the power?
You will live.
You will lose everything that makes life worth living.
You will spoil a brilliant endeavor and destroy the lives of thousands of mortals who will be devoured by the legions of demons coming from the abyss. Aside from that, you won't do anything extraordinary at all.
And what if I'm willing to sacrifice my life if it means closing the world wound?
Oh, how noble! For a brief moment, I even felt some regret that we demons are incapable of such lovely things. You see now, Inheritor? My little protege has more nobility in him than you expected. Shame on you.
This nobility is exactly why I came here. To help the Knight Commander learn the truth, and to show him that he has been used. Besides, I do not believe that you have been acting for selfless reasons, Lady in Shadow. Honesty and nobility have never counted among your virtues. You own the main source of Nahindrian crystals, and your servant Arilu has learned how to break the laws of the universe with their help. Can it be that the ruler of darkness and mistress of assassins has not conceived a way to use this formidable gift for her own benefit?
Accusations, suspicions, all completely hollow, just like your bright-eyed pretty little head. It's a pity you inherited Eridan's sword, but not his sharp mind. I have but one goal now, to stop the armies of that lecherous billy-goat and that gluttonous bug from strutting around my domain as if it were their own. I don't give a fig whether it will help mortals or hurt them. If the enemy of your enemy makes you a mutually beneficial proposition, you would have to be a complete idiot to say no.
You help me cleanse my soul of the influence of the Abyss.
Arilu has planted a piece of the Abyss itself in your soul. The only thing that can cleanse the soul of such a taint is that same soul. But I will be near. I will show you how to root out the demonic corruption. I am not a demon, and I do not offer any simple solutions. You will have to go your own way, no matter where it leads. Yes. The power that Nahindrian crystals grant you will bring about nothing but your own demise. The branches of the Tree of Sin are vast and verdant, but its only fruit is death. You will not be able to save yourself unless you reject everything that has been foisted upon you. Now you know everything.
No, we're not quite finished with the revelations yet. Few secrets remain to be revealed, but they will be worth the wait. Does this look familiar? Do you remember the similar wound above your own heart? I have given you enough hints. Come on, ask me the question I have been waiting for.
With a flick of the wish's wrist, something changes in her, as if a veil has fallen. One so thin that it was almost invisible, but which had clouded your vision nonetheless. Now you can see what was hidden before, a deep open wound above Arilu's heart. The wound pulsates as blood drips from it. Why are you doing all of this? Knowledge Arcana check passed. I received my wound because of you, Arilu. Implanted the essence of the Abyss in my soul when you expanded the world wound. My question is, why do you have a similar wound? Could it be because you use your own soul as a key when you first opened the world wound? Your wound, Lord Nature. History tells us of a lot of curious things about the world wound's creation. Oh, that's a huge DC on lore. Why I got lore? Why is it 10? What is that stupid check? I need to roll 19, I'll never roll 19.
That's right. And this means that the world wound actually has 2 keys.
Good question. Just imagine. I have wasted so much time chasing the key to the world wound, and the key was right under my nose this whole time. Arilu, my love, come over here.
Does the game actually have any gameplay? You would be surprised how much of a gameplay there is. Not that it has gameplay, it might be one of the best games ever created. Arilu does not look like someone who's been cornered. Without a trace of fear, she gives you a faint nod and then makes a barely discernible gesture with her hand and disappears as if she were never even been
Wait,
here.
I said wait! That little bitch. I knew she would betray me sooner or later, but I never expected such an idiotic stunt. But everything seems to be falling into place quite nicely. You see, you don't have to die after all. Arilu opened the world wound, and Arilu will be the one who closes it, whether she likes it or not. Although, someone will need to catch her first, and this will require certain powers.
Yes, Arilu Vorlesh will pay for her crimes with her life. Her flight confirms that our suppositions were correct. But now we know that the world wound can be sealed with her blood. You have no reasons to remain indebted to the Abyss and indulge the Queen of the Succubi. Reject her gift and secure your victory while being the person you were before Arilu Vorlesh corrupted you. Win as a mortal and become a legend among mortals.
She's talking rubbish. True, we gave you the power, but it was you who chose how to wield it. It belongs to you, and it will remain yours, so you can do whatever you want with it. But first, you must use it to close the world wound. You aren't going to catch this world's most powerful witch, and a half-demon one at that, with your bare hands, are you?
Both the goddesses and the demon lord stared at you expectantly. Before I make my decision, I want to ask you, Medea, some questions. Nocticula, I got questions. I want to ask my companions for advice. What do you think about all of this? I made my decision. Before I make my decisions, let's ask Nocticula first.
If you have questions, ask away.
Why do you try to hide the fact that closing the world wound would kill me?
Because if I'd told you the truth, you would have refused to do it. But you're not angry with me, are you? After all, everything has worked out perfectly fine. We found another key. So now you can live and enjoy your life. Provided that you catch Arilu, of course.
Now we decided to use Arilu to close the world wound. Do you still want me to keep the powers I acquired from her?
Of course I do. Firstly, you'll need those powers to catch Arilu and bring her to Threshold. Surely you don't think she'll willingly fall into your hands, and the demonic hordes will politely make way for you. And secondly, the powers Arilu gave you protect you from dying before your time. None of us want the wound to kill you prematurely. You are extremely useful to me alive. After all, if you let Arilu slip through your fingers, we can always go back to the original plan for closing the wound.
Arilu deliberately led us to the idea that she was a key too. Why?
Apparently, she understood that her secret was about to be revealed anyway, so she decided to leave in style. What human female over 100 years old wouldn't feel flattered at being the center of attention? Although she could have other reasons. She obviously wanted us to understand everything and immediately rush off in pursuit of her. She's probably been preparing for a war of all against all for a long time, and now she wants to wage it on her own terms. Expect treachery and traps wherever you go.
Where is she?
No, let's think. She's hidden in the Abyss before. She won't dare to return there now. Not only to my realm, but to any other either. Even if Baphomet and Discari both take it upon themselves to guard Arilu personally, that won't stop me from sneaking in, slitting her throat, and leaving undetected. And she knows that. If I were her, I would hide in a place where the powers of her enemies were uncertain, and her own power was close to unlimited. I say you should look for her here, in the World Wound.
Aren't you afraid to stand in the presence of the goddess?
Tut tut, how rude! I wouldn't say the girl is that hideous. I admit her face is far from perfect. Her body too, to be honest. But all in all, not bad. I've seen worse.
Your theatrics are too transparent to offend me, demon. At least, they can hardly offend me more than the very fact of your existence.
Do you really plan to use me to become a goddess yourself?
That is nothing but the wild speculation of a little girl who gained celestial power through no merit of her own and now fears that others may do the same, forcing her to share her place in the spotlight. Do I want to become a goddess? Of course I do. Who wouldn't? Can you help me with that? Sadly, no. Of course, Arilu used to blather on about how her brilliant invention could bake gods like pies. But between you and me, the cleverer the inventor, the larger their ego becomes. So far, she hasn't managed to create anything stronger than you. And, no offense, but you're no match for any deity. Very well. It's time for you to make your decision then.
Io Medea.
Ask, and you shall have your answers.
You gain your own power from the Starstone. How is my power any different?
My ascension was not accomplished in one day, and even the test of the Starstone was only one of its stages. I did not merely gain power, I embraced a sacred duty. Your power, on the other hand, stems not from long hours of study, not from trials. It is not the natural talent you were born with and carefully honed throughout your life. It is the result of an evil soul's deranged experiment with the blood of dead abyssal lords.
You imprison entire hosts of angels inside the War Stones. Why did you do that to them?
Every one of my angels volunteered for that mission. They all knew what kind of watch they were going to keep. They knew that it would be a hard and exhausting battle, but that the lives of mortals throughout Golarion would depend on it. Alas, angels' minds can be as fragile as the minds of mortals. In less than 100 years, many wavered and wished to break the oath they had sworn. I do not blame them. I blame myself for allowing them to take on a burden that was too heavy for them.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much is gameplay? What do you mean, how much is gameplay? It's more than a... Let's say like this. 30% is reading story, reading those books, inscriptions, messages, and so on. Then conversations like this. That would be like 30%. The next 30% would go towards kingdom management, itemization, leveling, and so on. Planning. So that will be 60% of the game. 40% is the actual combat. That's how I would put it. Yeah, I called it one of the best games ever made. And I claim it can be maybe the best game ever made. Since Baldur's Gate 2, since Diablo 1, this is the best thing that came out in the last 25 years. We can include Witcher 3 in the deal. So those would be like... And Doom. Doom 1. 5 best games ever. Okay. Baldur's Gate, Diablo 1, Doom 1, Witcher 3, and Wrath of the Righteous. But Wrath of the Righteous is still rough. It needs to be polished, it needs its DLCs, it needs full voice acting, it needs balancing, patches, everything. What is Wrath of the Righteous? It's probably the biggest game ever. Alright. You easily need 400 hours to finish one run. There is no bigger game than Wrath of the Righteous. No, I didn't continue with Angel. I picked Legend. I picked Immortal. No, I would never put Dragon Age Origins in a top 5 of all time. You gotta realize one thing. Dragon Age Origins is a copycat of Neverwinter Nights 2. Alright. Better version of Neverwinter Nights 2. It wasn't innovative. They just copied everything from Neverwinter Nights. Have that in mind. It is in top 100 games of all time, Dragon Age Origins. But I would never put a copycat in top 5. Never. You can put the first thing when you wanna like assemble top 5, top 10 games of all time. You make innovation as the first stat. Then it's the gameplay, difficulty, then it's storytelling, and then it's everything else. I don't know if it's the best game ever created. We're gonna see what they do with the game and what they'll do with the Breath of the Righteous, okay? But from what I've seen so far, very, very few games can hold against Breath of the Righteous. Very few. Mask of the Betrayer is probably one of the best expansion packs ever created, but as the expansion pack. It's better than any Might and Magic. And first of all, what do we compare? And how can we compare? Do we compare the perfect version of Kingmaker with Breath of the Righteous, or we want to compare vanilla version of Kingmaker with Breath of the Righteous? Breath of the Righteous is like 50 to 100 times better game if we compare vanilla versions. This is still vanilla. Let's be patient for 2 years and then we're gonna discuss how much better Breath of the Righteous is compared to Kingmaker in their final versions. Zeddy, thanks for the follow. I'm telling you, I look for innovation when I pick my favorite games of all time. I have a lot of favorite games, okay? I can easily say how Mass Effect 2 is a great game also, one of my favorites. Even though I don't like the shooting genre way too much, it's one of my favorites, okay? But I can never put it on a line with Diablo 1, with Baldur's Gate, with Doom 1, with Heroes of Might and Magic 2. I can never do that. But I can put Wrath of the Righteous there. Easily. Did you send your herald to follow me to the abyss, or did he go on his own free will?
He acted on his own noble impulse, and I did not stop him. I also did not try to dispel his misconception about you being my chosen one. I do not lie, but both celestial beings and mortals can be mistaken.
So you're a bitch that didn't tell the inheritor what's gonna happen to him, and she knew.
She doesn't lie, sure. She merely withholds some of the truth. For the noblest of reasons, of course.
Yeah. Even though she's a demon, she has right. That's what I was thinking, okay? She knew what was gonna happen to him and she still let go her inheritor, okay? Angel. Do you know what happened to your herald, you bitch?
My herald, my loyal companion, was captured, and now demons are using him to attack Drazin. They're holding him in the Ivory Labyrinth, Baphomet's realm of the Abyss. It is a place I cannot go, not even to save my faithful friend. For doing so would start an interplanar war.
But I can go, yeah.
Right now, as we speak, Baphomet's servants are torturing the hand of the Inheritor. Tormented and anguished, he reaches for you with his thoughts and his soul. I cannot tell if he sees you as a great unfulfilled hope or a last chance. But Baphomet knows well how to exploit such desperate yearning.
I'm gonna chop your head off, you Medea.
He has turned my herald into a source of power to open temporary portals. They do not last long, but they lead from the dungeon where the hand of the Inheritor suffers, right to your doorstep. Baphomet does not need to lead his armies through the rifts. Now he can send them right here. As long as my poor herald remains in the hands of that monster, this will not stop. I cannot say if it is still possible to save him, or if putting him out of his misery is the only way. I cannot openly ask you to intervene. But if you decide to do so, you will be helping both yourself and the one who chose the martyr's path when he followed you into the abyss.
Ever since I acquired these powers, everyone has believed me to be Yomedea's chosen. Why didn't you do anything to dispel this misunderstanding, you bitch?
At first, I did not know who you were, or where your powers originated. This was revealed to me only when my herald offered up his dying prayer from the depths of the abyss. And following his desperate plea, I sought to confirm my suspicions. Until that point, I had observed you without intervening. After all, your crusade was securing victories, the first Golarion had seen in many years. So even if it was not I who had sent you into battle, it felt unfair to undermine you.
In other words, our Imperial guest had no problem with your power, as long as she didn't know where it came from. She didn't even share her suspicions with her own herald. And after all that, someone dares to claim that demons are the most deceitful creatures?
You should not blame someone else if you base your accusations on vague suspicions rather than solid proof. You call my behavior deceitful. You, of all creatures, who kept the commander ignorant of the fate you had chosen for him? Indeed, the insolence of demons knows no bounds.
But Nocticula said that you should not trust anyone, not even her. Okay, she said it. Not like she didn't say that, alright? She did say that. So basically, Yomedea, even though she represents the angel path, is, by doing nothing at all, a greater evil than Nocticula is. Simple as that. Yomedea is a bitch. A demon lord stands before you. Why don't you destroy her right here and now, you bitch?
I could. But then every other demon lord would decide that he or she was next and stand against me. In response to that, the Imperial lords would take up arms. Then Hell, Heaven, and Elysium would join the conflict. a war would break out, one which mortals could not hope to survive.
Why descend now and at this particular moment?
As I have already said, I am here to open your eyes to Nocticula's lies and to prevent more calamities in the future. You are at a crossroads now. I will not force you to do anything, but you needed to learn the truth and have the chance to cleanse yourself.
Bitch. Why did Arilu do everything possible to lead us to the idea that she was a key too?
The impulses that drive a soul as black as hers are beyond my comprehension. Perhaps she was startled by my arrival and decided not to bother keeping a secret that was bound to be revealed. Or perhaps she is up to some cunning scheme. Be on your guard. The architect of the World Wound will surely try to bring you down. For if she truly is a key, then it must mean that she will die sooner or later due to the influence of her own horrible creation. And that means that sacrificing you is her only chance of survival.
How exactly can you help me to cleanse myself of the influence of the Abyss?
Arilu has planted a piece of the Abyss itself in your soul. The only thing that can cleanse the soul of such a taint is that same soul. But I will be near. I will show you how to root out the demonic corruption. I am not a demon, and I do not offer any simple solutions. You will have to go your own way, no matter where it leads.
No more questions.
It is time to make your decision then.
I want to ask my companions for advice.
Ugh, these dames are tough. But Iomade is as tough as you. If she tells you to do something, you better do what she says. I can feel it in my tail. You're good and righteous and all that, so do what the righteous goddess is telling you. Maybe it'll even make my life a smidge easier. After you become more like a human.
Do what the righteous goddess is telling.
Experience tells me that it's wiser to trust yourself and your own abilities. You can't trust what clients tell you. One day you're a hero, the next you're working for the enemy. Sorry, but it all looks like a setup to me. First they tell you to lay down your weapons, and then, once you're unarmed, they finish you off in some back alley.
And where are the rest of the companions? Okay, you see how unfinished it is. They probably had a plan for all companions to say something. It's only Vol'jif and Greybor. I mean, come on. Come on. I made my decision.
I am waiting for your answer. I hope you will choose wisely.
Quite right. Make your choice, and make it the right one.
Everyone spoke in yours. Well, no one speaks here. I don't know why. I really don't know why. It's a bug, probably. Now fucking what? Choose the mythic path. Angel, legend, or a gold dragon. What do I get now? A race pack? Or not? I really don't get it. One doesn't need to be a mythic creature to another worldly being, or a deity chosen to become a hero. This path might be grueling and full of temptation, but the mortal who treads it fully earns the right to call themselves a true legend. The Gold Dragon is a mighty, almost omnipotent creature, possesses powers beyond all others. The Gold Dragon is the embodiment of goodness, hope, and redemption. You gain the ability to breathe holy energy, attacking all enemies 50 feet cone, dealing character plus holy damage, successful reflex saving throw, half your mythic rank, halves the damage. Any enemy hit by the breath attack also Gains -1 penalty on D20 rolls, while all enemies who fail the reflex saving throw gain -2 penalty. Or better to say, they can't crit you anymore. You can use your breath attack once every 1d4 rounds. Gold dragon form. You can assume the form of a gold dragon. +10 size bonus to strength. +8 bonus to constitution. +8 form natural armor bonus. Blind sense. Imagine this paired with a less level of War Prest. You also gain 1 bite, 2 claws, 2 wings, and 1 tail slap attack. The gold dragon gains immunity to poison, disease, fear, confusion, paralysis, and sleep. He also gains resistance to all energies equal to his character level, plus half his mythic rank. If any of your saving throw bonuses before modifier is less than 5, plus your mythic rank, you gain a bonus up to that number. Any of the attributes before modifiers is less than 14, you gain a bonus up to that number. All your hit dices are now D12. Any spells dealing damage now change their dice to D6. If it was not D6 or greater, it was D6 or greater. The spell instead +1 bonus to damage per die. All weapons that you equip will count as +5s. I don't even have an option to pick a demon. That's the first thing. No matter what I do, I can't agree with Nocticula, seems like. And if I stick with an angel, there is no result as a legend. There is no result as a golden dragon, but there is with it's a continuation if I stick with an angel. And what happens if I pick legend or a golden dragon? What happens with golden dragon? What the fuck is this? Wait. Legend corruption resist. I just continue from here, eh? After you become a legend, you will be the pinnacle of what a mortal can become. All your ability scores will be increased by 4. Your level cap will become 40. You still can only get 20 levels in one character class. And the amount of experience needed to level up will be drastically decreased. And this is to stick with the angel. A greater sword of heaven into a greater one. That's it. We get a dragon feet. Assume the form of a golden dragon. A perfect soul. Gain immunity to all elements. And all your damage is now holy. You know what I said when I started this game 300 hours ago, that I'll go as a legend? It's not like I didn't say I'll go with something else. I said I want to go as a mortal. And I will go as a mortal. The choice is made, all you have to do is announce it to everyone. It requires a legend mythic path. Yomedei, I'll accept your help, strip me of my powers and help me to cleanse myself of the influence of the abyss. You stick with Yomedei if you go with legend.
What What adorable overconfidence. We'll see how you deal with Arilu without the powers she gave you, and then you'll have to fight your way through the armies of 2 demon lords. But wait, will your powers even let you go? Will you be able to get rid of them even with the help of your Imperial guest?
Do not listen to her. Turn to yourself. You are a mortal. That is your weakness, but that is also where your strength lies. Think about it. Who are you? Your soul, your mind, your body. Which of your sides reflects your true self? Put your trust in yourself. Find your strength. And strike at the abyss in your heart as hard as you can.
Your light engulfs you, it penetrates you to your core, and for the first time in your life you can see yourself on a full display. Your body, your mind, and your soul. You see the shadow of the abyss that pervades you, granting you powers, but irrevocably alerting you at the same time. You realize that this clarity will be short-lived. This is your first and last chance to become an ordinary mortal again. The shadow of the abyss engulfs you, but its grip is weak, flashing. Before your eyes are the moments when you rebelled against it. Rejecting the book in Arilu's laboratory, refusing to take the essence from her hands. And then the moment when you're suppressed your power, not allowing it to fall upon Dresden. The abyss has no power over you. You're certain you can do this. Rely on your physical power, on your speed and agility, on your health, on your mind, on your soul, on personality. Rely on your physical power. Succeeded at strength check. No, it's 0 difficulty class. You strain your muscles, every part of your body, and unleash a crushing blow on the shadow of the abyss that has been with you for so many years. Pain, incredible pain, part of your soul breaks off and melts away, fading into the void. You feel your power leaving you, giving way to something new, something unknown, unimaginable, and at the same time, something not borrowed from any gods or demons. Something that belongs to you and you alone.
So now I'm surrounded by nothing but pathetic mortals? Then I won't waste any more of my time.
Congratulations. You have stepped onto the path of cleansing. It will not be easy, but there you will find what the abyss tried to steal from you. Your true self. I will help you with your first steps. You must go to the places where the power forced on you manifested itself and grew inside your soul. Start with the rift in the Midnight Fane. Once you are there, you will understand what to do next. And now I bid you farewell.
The fanfares trumpet once again, and the goddess disappears in the flash of a blinding light. Holy shit, man, this conversation was long, and I kinda wanna see all options. See what I get. What happened with my path now, what on earth I do, goddammit. I never seen more choices in my life. From the very start of the game, okay, till now. It had to deal with a legend path, yeah, probably. Anivia's clothes are dirty and her face and hands are smeared with dust. She uses the broom she's holding to offer you a cheery salute. We're back in the office. Nothing to it, a couple days and the city is good as new. The streets have been cleaned, all the ashes left from the demons have been swept away. And we patched up fortifications. We got guards on the walls and you in charge. It's almost like the good old days. Irabet echoes her wife's salute. Son's broom, of course. The city is ours again, Commander. Yours perhaps. All is not yet lost. Speak of a good old days, you were only gone 6 months, but right now it feels like decades have passed. Life in Kenabres before the Scaris attack feels like ancient history. It does, goddammit, it feels like an ancient history. I was how long I was here? 35 days or so. So I was in Kenabres 32 days ago. In our time, okay? It does feel like it was in a previous life. Innocent days when all we were worried about some demons and cultists here and there, not demon lords and deities vying to pay us a visit. Still can't believe that I saw the goddess with my own eyes. Irabet closes her fist around the holy symbol. So is Dresden under control? Generally speaking, yeah, is under control as a city can be. When it's got no people in it, and the only 2 days ago it was crawling with demons. I don't think you want me to paint you a rosy picture, so I'll tell you like this. Things still ain't looking all that good for us. Supplies are running short, there are hardly any soldiers left to defend the place, but the city's standing. That's what counts. This war ain't over yet. God damn it, I got so many things to do. Chase Arilu. Save the hand of the Inheritor. Where's Arilu? She's been roaming the abyss all the time, but now that Tevin is close to her, Nocticula and the other demon lords are all slavering for a piece of her. I think she's someplace around here, in the wound. Some nasty little place like his, or maybe she went as far as Threshold. I have a feeling like she's in Threshold. She's not in Ease for sure. How do you feel after seeing the goddess in flesh? My ears are still ringing from those trumpets. After witnessing the sight, I don't think I could be surprised by anything ever again. I will never forget it, the goddess is watching over us. There is no way we can lose. Situation at the front. Unknown. Her Majesty mustered all the oh shit, I got the Queen also. Her Majesty mustered all the troops she could, raised the Sword of Valor, and advanced on the demons. There's been no word from her since she left. Perhaps she's boldly taking easy even now. Maybe her bones have already been picked clean by demons. We don't know, and I doubt anybody except you will be able to find out. That's not all. Baphomet's minions keep taking swipes at us. The scumbags are holed up somewhere. The Ivory Labyrinth. The Ivory Labyrinth is where the Hand of the Inheritor is. I'll bet all day. Keep opening portals in different spots, dropping off a dozen units, and then closing the portal before we can get to them. We lost more skulls than I care to admit before we figured out how they were pulling off that little trick. Will I need to fight Baphomet again? Here's what I'm thinking, maybe you can get one of those portals in time. You could be ready for them somehow. So that when one opens, you get inside and crush some skulls. They might even be holding the poor Herald in there. If he's alive, you can free him. An entire army of demons enhanced by the Hydrian crystals was being sent here. It's being led by a demon named Mutasaphen. Do you know anything about that? We got Mutasaphen too. Scouts reported the movements of a large demon army far to the southwest of Dresden. They were marching across a dried out lake. There used to be a Sarkorian holy place there, I heard. Where they went, nobody knows. They're not headed for us, that's for sure. At least not yet. Thank you. That's the commander we know and love, Nakama Flat. Cascade of Fire. I know you're a big deal in all these days with the goddesses herself paying your house calls, but still taking on Threshold is more than ever you can handle on your own. Don't go forgetting about us humble mortals, we can still be of use to you. Since people heard you were alive, and fighting again. New volunteers been coming to Dresden. Not many so far, but my gut tells me you'll have a decent army before long. Once the way to the heart of the wound is clear, come back to us. Come back so you can lead us into the final battle. We'll be waiting for you here, Commander, when you return at the head of your army. All of us who started this crusade with you back in Canabres will march with you all the way to Threshold. To the very end. What do you want? Rigel is tense. I have fairly important news. I will do my best to be brief. The Hell Knight orders have not reacted well to the developments I mentioned in my latest report, specifically regarding the true source of your power. The very notion that you have been cooperating with a weapon forged by a real Warlash and Nocticula has caused discontent. The orders have not issued any official edicts, but many chapters and high-ranking knights have been recalled from their assignments and barricaded themselves in one of our outposts. The one you know, in fact. I suggest you go there and resolve the issue between the orders and the Crusaders. This is the matter of importance. How could you even think that reporting this to the orders would be a good idea? Do you really think I could withhold this information from my superiors? Do not degrade me or yourself with such a ridiculous suggestion. What kind of reaction should I expect from Hell Knights? Any, up to and including a formal declaration of war. Which is why you must go to the outpost and resolve the issue before it devolves into an open conflict. Okay. That's all I have to report. Lyotr Hogeblade. The Inquisitor greets you with a bow. I'm sincerely gladdened by your return, and I was delighted to hear this is Diran. To hear of your recent victories. It's a shame that my duty has kept me away from the front line. I would like to take up a place in the ranks of your Crusaders. And perhaps I will still have a chance to do so, but before that happens we must address another issue. I suppose you already guessed what has brought me here. We parted ways after the discovery we made on the Count Sarandea's estate. You and I both know that the Count became a conduit for an unknown entity, which I call the Other. I retreated to Nerosian and then went beyond Mendev's borders, looking for mentions of such entities and ways to fight them. Now that my search has borne fruit, I'm ready to tell you about it. Why did you search for so long? Because we're dealing with a rare phenomenon, a true anomaly. The Mendev Inquisition has amassed substantial experience in fighting demons. But here we are up against something completely different. I had to troll through the archives searching for cases that seemed in any way similar. I sent inquiries to friendly temples and reached out beyond our nation borders to experts on the unknown. It was dull and painstaking work, but it was necessary. So, what possessed Diran? I must be honest, I don't know what it is. However, I managed to find some evidence of similar incidents. Individuals who, in a horrible moment in their life, became a gateway for an unknown entity. The most curious part is that all these cases appear almost sequential. They happen in various corners of Golarion, but no two incidents ever occurred at the same time. This leads me to think that we are dealing with a single entity, one that has been secretly present in our world for a long time, merely changing its gateways on occasion. While I do not know what this entity is, I managed to find something of great value. A Varisian arcanist managed to pick up the trail of the Other and invented a ritual to weaken and bind it. She died under very suspicious circumstances. Her decapitated body was found in her laboratory. Her head was never found. But her notes survived, including the description of the ritual. I discussed it with several highly esteemed experts in magic, and I'm inclined to consider this as a reliable weapon. We can use the ritual to lure the entity out, bind it, and probably exterminate it. To do that, I'll need your assistance, Commander. How dangerous is it? Extremely dangerous, which is why I have come to you with this. All the evidence I collected on the Other In particular, the list of its victims, which include powerful demons and strong mortal mages, makes me certain we're dealing with something extraordinary here. It is stronger and more dangerous than Balers and other generals of the Abyss. I also suspect that the oracle powers the Count has developed come from the other. As a rule, only gods, imperial lords, and other extremely powerful beings are capable of granting such abilities. I know no one except for you who could challenge such an entity, so I'm asking for your help for the safety of all who dwell on Golarion. However, I believe that we can shore up our strategic position if the other doesn't suspect we're preparing a trap until the very last moment. Even the most dangerous of creatures become more vulnerable when caught off guard. The main thing we must do is to take a methodical approach and stay alert. I think that it's within our abilities. Are you sure the other is hostile towards us? In all this time, it has never tried to attack me. I am certain that this entity is dark and truly evil. The evidence and my instincts as an Inquisitor are undeniable. Wherever the other manifests itself, strange and ominous things begin to happen. In particular, I'm positive that it's responsible for all the magically decapitated corpses. The ones that were found at Heaven's Edge after the tragedy in Kenabres after the Scaris attack. In both places, some of the corpses belonged to civilians and others to demons. And in Kenabres, some of the victims were cultists. I'm convinced that the other is pursuing some interest of its own, and thus far it has ruthlessly exterminated any who learn of its existence. And now, you and I know that it exists. Draw your own conclusions. If Diran is the gateway, can we just slam this gateway shut and leave the other on the other side? We can, by killing the Count. But firstly, I'm not sure that the other won't try to protect its gateway. And in that case, we will have to face unprepared. And secondly, I'm opposed to the idea in principle. Sometimes Inquisitors must make hard decisions. I made a great many in my lifetime. For instance, I can kill a person possessed by demons if he or she is at an imminent risk of taking many lives, and I have no time to perform an exorcism. In this instance, the situation is not so critical. We have a way of fighting the other. I will not agree to commit cold-blooded murder, not even the murder of someone as disgraceful as Count Arandea. What we do now? We must carefully prepare the ritual, and then bring Count Arandea to the designated location. The ritual will learn out the other, weaken its connection with the Count, and bind its essence to our world like an anchor. The last part is especially important. All the evidence indicates that while the gateway is active, the other can travel freely between the material plane and some unknown space that lies beyond. If we fail to bind the other with the ritual, it will either escape or, in the worst case scenario, drag us into its realm. Hence, we must lure it out, and then I suppose defeat it. There is one more issue. Aside from the fact that we have to fight this incredibly powerful and horrifying creature, the other's suspicion must not be aroused until the very last moment, and this means that the Count must not know anything. The best course of action would be to take the Count to the designated location without telling him the reason for the journey. Then we must frighten him and make it appear that his life is in danger. The other will believe that its gateway is in peril, and then I hope it will show up to protect it. The ritual circle will work as a trap, but it is crucial, and I stress this, that we convince the entity that we know nothing of its existence. That is Diran who is in danger, not the entity itself. Otherwise, there is no knowing what may happen. I don't know what to give the adversary any chance to outmaneuver us. Why do you think the other will appear to protect Diran? The Count has been in danger many times before and nothing special has ever happened. You have special connection with your companions, Commander. You share part of your mythic powers with them. They journey through the abyss with you and survive to tell the tale. I believe the other understands this. It also must understand how dangerous it would be if you were to become not a benefactor but an enemy to its gateway. I'm certain that it will react to a threat coming from you, as opposed to ordinary encounters with demons and cultists. I'll help you. Let's go over the entire operation once more. I'm convinced that we must lure out the others somewhere far from Dresden and other populated places to avoid civilian casualties. I have a chosen suitable location within the world wound. I'll mark it on your map. You must bring the Count there without alerting him to what's about to happen. I assume that another foray into the world wound will hardly raise his suspicion. Mio! I will await you there with the ritual circle prepared. Before we reach the crucial moment, you must make the Count and the other believe that the Count is in danger. I suppose the easiest way to do that would be to tell him that you made a deal with the Mendev Inquisition, and the Count will have to face punishment for his crimes, real or imaginary. I'll find a way to intimidate him, but you must play along. We need to provoke the other to come out to protect its gateway. That's when we finish it off once and for all. This case will be my greatest triumph or my greatest failure. But I firmly believe that it must be done. Remember my words, the other must be convinced that we're not a threat to the Count and that we know nothing of its existence. The slightest suspicion could prove fatal for us. Until we meet again, Commander, and may the gods be with us. A lot of shit happening in Dresden. Latimas, a pale ghostly image appears in front of you. Recognize Latimas the Antiquarian, the scholar you helped some time ago. His translucent form flickers. Holy shit, that's the place where the dragons were. The Dragon Boneyard. Commander, it's Timas. I won't be able to maintain the spell for long. Open the door to the treasure room. Please hurry. Did you manage to open the door? Yes, I won't enter without you. Waiting on your help. The door to the Dragon Burial Ground. The bell, the caves. I'm on my way. Holy shit, imagine! I can click somewhere finally. Jesus Christ, the journal is full again. This is after the legend part. Okay, so I'll just call it, I don't know, after legend. Guess what I'm gonna do now? All of my companions are here, but for some reason they didn't trigger in the conversation. I really don't know what's wrong. What happened with my mythic path? I still got a Sword of Heaven, I'm still Angel. And I picked Legend. Under the Dresden, yeah. Yeah. Yomedea said it already. Legends, you have to go overcome trials. Okay, I get it. I didn't check the journal. I remember what Yomedea said under Dresden. We need to go down again. Fucking hell, man. I'm afraid to check the world map. This feels like an entire new game open right now. Look at my save. Shit. I wanna have all 3 options. Alright? I wanna have all 3 saves. Over here. Because I might decide to have 3 different endings with a War Priest. So I can pick something completely else. I could go with a War Priest Dragon, War Priest Angel, and War Priest Legend. From this spot. You know. And then on my next run, I can go as a full Trickster. Or as Aeon. Or as Azata. So save needs to be here. 3 choices. Legend. Dragon. Yep. Of course, we're gonna speed up through most of the conversations. That's classic.
Let's move already.
Rely on me.
See if the... You know what might be causing? What might be causing all of this? Rest. Rest might be causing all of this.
Move out.
You see, I forgot to loot this. Well, I forgot to loot this.
This was simple enough.
This is a cool moment in the game. Very cool moment in the game. A very cool moment that I can speed up. What? I easily can't speed this up. It requires a legend mythic path, it requires a dragon mythic path. I am a gold dragon, my heart is full of compassion, but my spirit is relentless. I will allow those who want to live to go in peace. Those who stay I will have to destroy. Power rushes through your body, almost ripping it apart. The wound in your chest bursts open in a spray of bloody droplets. The might bestowed upon you by the abyss and a real warless erupts into this world, and you pay for it in a purest agony. Orengopta, who just a moment ago seemed so vast, so powerful, now seems like a slow-witted bully to you. The demons and the Citadel defenders are all just poor, misled children who see no further than the tip of their noses. Your heart fills with compassion for them. Jesus Christ, I grew into a fucking dragon. The soft glow of your scales touches them all, suiting them with its warmth, and they realize there is no need to fight anymore. Battles are pointless, life, every moment of it is the greatest miracle. Preserving it and revealing in each new way is what is truly important. Some of the demons hesitate for a few moments and then leave, wondering what they're doing here and why they got into this fight in the first place. But others are just too angry to retreat. You know that they're no match for a gold dragon, then their sad decision has just doomed them. Battle it is then. That's not a battle, but whatever. Yo. This is also a cool moment.
Knight Commander, at last we meet. And I greet you, Knight Commander. I suppose you're asking... At the same time, I grieve for you, as for a soul that is caught in a web of demonic deceit and villainy.
I achieved more in my crusade than all the other crusaders achieved in 100 years. If you think you're going to criticize me for using my power, think again.
I am not here to offer reproach. I am here to warn you. In that moment, when my poor hair...
Oh, really? I didn't realize you were good for anything else. Forgive me, that was unfair of me. Judging by your successes over the last 100 years, fighting is not your forte. After all, the wound is still there, as far as I know. So why are you here? If you have come to meddle in my affairs, don't expect me simply to stand aside.
Can you banish the spawn of the Abyss or destroy them entirely?
I cannot do that, alas. I will not subject Golarion to the war between deities, which will surely ensue if I personally intervene in mortal affairs. But if the demoness wishes to be present for our conversation, so much the better. Do you hear me, Nocticula? You and your servant are under no obligation to leave. I have come here to shed the light of truth. Let us see if you both can withstand its merciless radiance.
The goddess who was mortal not so long ago. That is true. I tried to tell you back in Illusionera, but I was not allowed.
It is...
Try. You will... Accusation.
A real...
Does this look familiar? Do you remember the similar wound about...
Why doesn't the lore...
I have given you
check...
enough hints. Come on, ask me the question I have been waiting for.
You fucking think I got 30 lore? More, I got 35. How on earth is it then?
That's right.
Good. She's...
Ask. My...
She doesn't.
You should not... I could. But then every other... As I have already said, I am here... The impulses that drive a soul... Aurilu is plenty... It is time to...
If you have... Because if I... You are... Apparently... If I were her...
You're the...
Of course, Aurilu used to... Very well.
Will companions, all of them appear or not? Okay, I know.
Experience tells me that it's wiser to trust yourself and your own abilities. You can't trust what clients tell you. One day you're a hero, the next you're working for the enemy. Sorry, but it all looks like...
I am waiting for your answer. I hope you will choose wisely.
Really, on others' runs, all companions speak, but on my run, only 2 of them speak. Is that so?
Quite right.
Кажи. My wife wants to make pancakes. So I need to go and buy something quick. I want to eat pancakes. Be right back in 5 minutes. Just to buy that thing before it closes. It's already 10:20 p.m. Be right back extremely fast. Have I done companions quests? Yes, I did it all. And only 2 of my companions are speaking, okay? I know what might be the problem. I didn't rest. I'll rest and then I'll check it out. I believe that's the problem. I was playing all of this without resting a single time. Be right back. Just 3 minutes to get out and grab that thing. Be right back fast. Alright. I guess it was fast. Nothing works close by, I need to go a bit further away. What was a dragon? Gold dragon. Achievement unlocked. Path of the dragon. The choice is made. All you have to do is announce it to everyone. A unlocked, Azata locked, Demon locked, Lich is locked, Trickster is locked. You can become an undead dragon as a Lich. What? Yeah, pancakes are coming soon, I can't fucking wait. If she wants to make them. Not a big deal for me to go out and grab what's needed. She needed soda only. For pancakes. Life is good. Genshin. Let me see what you wrote, people. You really wrote a lot. And it was in the middle of this conversation that I wanted to listen. I thank you both for your wise advice, but take a closer look at me and you'll understand that I don't need it. What? A golden glow engulfs you. Metal scales appear on your knuckles, fire erupts from your nostrils. With a shriek, Nocticula shields her eyes. Even Yomedea squints a little as she looks at you. What? Oh, I like this. Fuck them both. This is the way to fuck them both. But it's a bit weird. What happened with Yomedea and Nocticula after I turned into a dragon? Where's the animation when I turned into a dragon? What the fuck? Your power is frightening, but your goodness and wisdom are awe-inspiring. What's with all the excitement? The great gold dragon. I like the sound of that. When you become a full-fledged dragon and you take me for a ride, that's when I'll call you the great gold dragon. Turn into an awesome dragon. It's more than just that. When I saw demons just leaving one after another without hurting nobody. I wonder if this is how things could always be. If they all just took themselves back to the abyss without harming anyone's side, nobody would be sad to see the back of this war. You saved the city and defended your people without attacking. It's a good path, okay? Golden Dragon is a good path, but you kinda take Terendelev's path. That's exactly the same shit that Terendelev did. And we know how Terendelev ended up. Chill. That guy didn't show up this time for the treasure, for the dragon burial ground when I took the dragon path. After dragon. And what happens now? I need to find the... No, I already got dragon. Look at this, it changed. But I lost everything from Angel. I bloody lost it all. Yeah, I lost everything. No more sword for me. But look at my stats, god damn it. This shit went all up. Oh my god. No, I'm not an angel anymore. I lost all of those angel powers. Huh. One more little thing remains, and that's where was it? 3 choices. Bam. This one. This is a funny thing with Dragon, you know. It's a big fuck you to both Yomedea and Nocticula. It seems like the best option that you can take, okay? The most righteous option that you can take. Fuck them both. Ah, so we can check if it's the rest what's causing the companions, yeah. Yeah. Could be. Could be. Imagine if I get ambushed in the middle of the desert. Or it was the pet that's causing all of this. Could be also that.
Call me again if you need to.
We got a Galfrey's farewell letter too. There's a lot of things, you know. This game is just absolutely astounding. I just hope that they'll patch everything, they'll fix everything, you know, because this is really amazing what they did. Really, really amazing. I took Legend. I took Dragon. Requires Angel. Reveal the light of heaven. Let the darkness perish. Be gone from my world, demons. Power rushes through your body, almost ripping it apart. The wound in your chest bursts open in a spray of bloody droplets. The might bestowed upon you by the abyss and a little warless erupts into this world, and you pay for it in purest agony. Light suffuses you, bright and shining light, and the desire to protect your world at any cost. That was a cool scene also, okay? That was a very cool scene also.
Knight Commander, at last we meet.
Bend the knee.
Rise. I have not come here to receive homage. I suppose you are asking yourself why I am here. Gods must... And I know... But I did... At the same time, I grieve for you. I have come in that...
Oh, really? I didn't read.
I cannot...
That is true.
It is...
Try. You will. Accusation.
A real... Yeah.
Does this look familiar? Do you remember the similar wound above your own heart? I have given you enough hints. Come on, ask me the question I have been waiting for.
Why did Lore Nature drop from 10 to 5 now, when I picked Angel? And this thing dropped from 5 to 2.
That's good.
I don't know what's the point of this.
Wait,
I really don't get
she's
it. Why so high skill checks? Why? I got 34 points into lore and it says I got 5.